All right, welcome in. It is Friday. It is time for another episode of Total Bases. We have a full slate of Major League Baseball. We've got day baseball, thanks to the Cubbies giving us an afternoon game. And we have the biggest, well, probably the biggest rivalry in Major League Baseball tonight. That is going to be our feature game. But first, let's go around the horn. Brian, how was your Thursday?
I didn't like the card yesterday. I think I used Kansas City as a part of the parlay, and that worked out well. But I didn't have anything for my clients. I ended up passing yesterday. I'm not going to force anything just because there's games. If there's nothing I don't see, I don't play. And unfortunately, I wish I had played Kansas City for my clients. But no, it's a 0-0 day for me. But there is a game I have my eye on today. I'm probably going to use a 5%. But I haven't written anything up yet, and I wanted to get everybody else's opinions before I do. Respect both of you guys, and even though we don't always agree, you've got good reasons behind your bets. So I wanted to do the show before I put up my 5%.
I am just making sure. Yeah, it looks like we are live. Tokyo Brandon, listen, I'm not going to let the people give you a hard time. I told you that before we got on here. I know it didn't go great for you yesterday, but just remind the people who is number one at WagerTalk this year.
Thank you, Adam. That's very nice of you. I'm still number one among the 33 cappers, but I went 1-3 yesterday. And the first game we're going to talk about, the Yankees, is one of the ones that I lost. I just seems like, I'm touching stuff and turning it into coal for the last couple of days. So not good, but you're right. I'm still number one. I can take solace in that. So give it to me in the comments. I'm ready.
I was trying to figure out where the comments were. But it looks like we are now populated live. Real quick, 1-0 for me yesterday. I jumped in with the Nationals, took what I consider to be a little bit of a worse number than I could have had. Well, we talked about that game on the show. It moved like in real time on the show. But I ended up taking -135, somewhat against, I guess, my better judgment of laying 20 cents worse than I could have got earlier in the day. But it worked out, and my only other play got rained out in AAA. So 1-0 for me. I do have a 5% play tonight. And TB, like I said, I was at my high water mark of the year on August 1st. I gave back the first couple weeks of August, and now it's turned back around. So you just, the ebbs and flows of a year of betting are gonna catch up. Everyone's got to deal with it at some point.
Hey, let me make one quick comment. At WagerTalk, this is my sixth year. I've been profitable every year except one, and I've doubled the bankroll in 5 of those 6 years. But 2022, I was -180 units. That was the worst year of my life. So it does happen.
Yeah, and then that's actually not. I mean, it's not that crazy. When a lot of the plays are 3, 4, 5 units a play, it can add up if you're not running good. Thank you, Mark. Yes, I am number one the last 7 days, and I have a 5%er tonight. So take a look at that on the website. Bryan Leonard, coming back to you. I showed up for the occasion. I'm very New England themed here. We got a Worcester hat on, a Yukon shirt. I'm like Dunkin' Donuts and a lobster roll short of being just totally New England out this morning. In New England tonight, we got a big series. Yankees, Red Sox, and maybe some guys from Worcester on their way back to the team. So Yankees, Red Sox, let's talk about this one.
Yeah, I don't know if your girlfriend dressed you, but the colors match up the same as well.
Oh, this is in the Bronx. My bad. It's in the Bronx. Sorry. Red Sox, Yankees in the Bronx. I misspoke right there.
Yeah, you're all red, white, and blue today, and hopefully it's a good day for this country because they haven't had many of them the last few years. All right. We're going with Boston Sandoval, the lefty, against Schlittler, the righty. Schlittler's about a 155 favorite right now. 7 to the over, 7.5 to the under. Sandoval's the weak link out of the Boston rotation, if you ask me. He's the lefty. The Yankees against righties this year, probably about league average. Let me get a quick look. Yeah, Yankees are about a 101 on WRC Plus on the season, 102 versus lefties. They just haven't had the hitting this year without one of the greatest hitters in our generation being healthy all season long. But, yeah, Sandoval's average game score has been a 44. I believe he's only had 2 games all season long Well, he missed a lot of the season, but only 2 of his starts has been league average or better, which makes 7.5 be somewhat curious to me. I know Schlittler's been great, but this is a decent hitting ballpark. Boston's been here many times. 7.5 seems to be a little short. Their 7's over 22. The 7 the odd numbers, as we know, mean a little bit more than the even numbers. But yeah, if I'm going to play this one, I may look at the over here. I know Schlittler's been very good, but I don't know if Sandoval is going to shut down this Yankee offense. So slightly lean to the over. And yeah, this is, as far as I know, San Francisco and LA are pretty wild when it comes to rivalries. But San Francisco's so bad this year, you have to throw that one out a little bit. But yeah, I always consider this to be a huge rivalry, and really over the years, I made good money playing the underdogs in this series, regardless of how good the teams are playing. The underdogs are always live, but I clearly like Schlittler more than Sandoval in this game.
Yeah, I got all jacked up there talking about New England and just misspoke. This game is at Yankee Stadium. The Yankees will continue their homestand here. Tokyo Brandon, you mentioned it yesterday. Kind of a little bit of a no-show for them. I like them as well. You have to wonder, did they have their eye on the Red Sox a little bit? Maybe a little look ahead. I mean, it's a big, with how good the Red Sox have played of late, this is kind of a big series, 4-game set. This is going to, we get a doubleheader tomorrow, and then the finale is going to be on Sunday. So the first of 4 here, Yankees, Red Sox, are they a little bit more focused with their ace on the mound tonight?
Yeah, I only have one play up at WagerTalk.com today. I'm not going to be much of a hype man because I'm a little irked right now, but I'll do my best, guys. I'll get through it. No emotional damage here. After watching them play yesterday, it's really hard to back the Yankees. But as we know that we've been doing this for a long time, teams can bounce right back the next day. They're either not motivated or just get shut down. And if you look at Schlittler's numbers against these Red Sox, pretty amazing stuff. 62 at-bats against a 194 average and a 521 OPS. He's a much better pitcher than Sandoval. And Yankees have the better bullpen. Red Sox are hitting better right now. But if anything, I don't know. I think it'd be back to the Yankees here. The price is a little, again, the book is basing the price almost 100% on the starting pitching, right? I don't think the Yankees are this price much better than Boston right now, but you can take a -1 and knock about 35 cents off that price and make it palpable. So yeah, I'd take the Yankees -1 if I were to bet this. I love your shirt, by the way, Adam. That's cool.
Oh, I appreciate this. This was from one of the UConn. I saw someone in the chat talking about UConn made them a lot of money. The first year that UConn won the national championship, that is the most money I've ever made off of a future. I had 30 to 1 for a kind of an irresponsible amount, and they got it done. So yeah, no, I'll rep UConn for that. They've been very good to me. There might not be a guy that gets up for this series more than Cam Schlittler. He's from Weymouth, Mass. So he's a New England guy, went to Northeastern, actively trolls Red Sox fans on social media. Like he's done it like literally since he was called up. You rest assured he is going to, I think he wants to pitch well every time he steps on the mound, but he's not going to overlook this team at all. And, you talk about Cam Schlittler. I mean, if you get an A+ effort from Schlittler, he can absolutely shut any team down. He's neck and neck with, Dylan Cease, a guy we'll probably talk about on the show, in the AL for the Cy Young, a sub-1 whip, a 2.16 ERA. He's been absolutely tremendous all year. Brian, I do go back to a point that you've made in this series. It historically, at least like recent history, we'll call it like last 5 years or so, it feels like the underdogs have sort of like owned this series from a money standpoint, where like if you've bet the dog in this series, regardless of who it is, Red Sox or Yankees, over like, let's say the past 5 years, you've got to be up quite a bit. So that concerns me a little bit, but my handicap does suggest that maybe TB was a day early on the Yankees yesterday and that they win here. But man, the price is probably what's going to keep me off.
-1 it, baby.
Yeah, I and again, listen, if you like the Yankees, you can bet the money line, but it's like you may have to just, keep your risk amount in check. I wouldn't just go off risking like a huge, it's I guess the final thing I'll say about this one, it's like for me, it's not the spot. Like I thought TB, like your bet last night, probably roughly -150 against the Astros, like in my opinion was a better bet than the Yankees here at roughly the same price against the Red Sox. Now, this one may win and yours might lose, but like it like yesterday, I think was a better bet at that price than this one is, even though this one might win. If that like makes sense. Again, I know feature game, great game, not a ton of actionable info there. So we'll move it along. We'll try to find one where we do have some actionable info. Actual info. And I'll go to the chat. D. Cern is a White Sox fan. He says, let's talk the slugging Chicago White Sox. He's hyping his team up right there, Brian. He's a White Sox fan, so definitely a little bias on his end. The White Sox, 6.5 game lead in the division. Your Guardians are on their heels all of a sudden, 7-game win streak. But this one's kind of a big deal, Brian, because the Twins at home, if they could play their way out or play their way in this weekend, they have the chance to do either. They come in 6.5 back after that series with the A's. Do you think the Twins are dead, or are they going to rally a little bit this weekend against the White Sox?
Yeah, 28 games left in the season for the Twins. Currently 6 games under 500. Been outscored by 56 runs. Expected one loss, 62 and 72. So they're actually outperforming what they have done, expected to be done. But yeah, it's a do or die series for the Twins. They've got to win this series. You got to think they've got to be able to win this series. The White Sox, 5-5 the last 10. They've outscored the opposition by 44 runs on the season. Expected win 71, which they're playing about at that range. But you take a look at these teams in this division. None of them have a winning record against winning ball clubs. And that's the concern. Once you get to the playoffs, they're going to be playing all winning ball clubs. And so I expect whoever wins this division, unfortunately, be out in the first round. But yeah, the Twins have that's been a team that you backed a lot this year. I haven't been on the Twins very often this season, but they've been a moneymaker, I'm sure. Castillo against Kramer. Kramer's about a 113 favorite, total of 8.5 to the over, 9 to the under. Castillo has had one good start for the White Sox since he's been there. He continues to struggle. I think Minnesota can get to him a little bit here. Dean Kramer's had his times too where he has underperformed a little bit. The listener said the slugging White Sox. Yeah, I think there'll be some runs scored in here. We're looking at 8.5 and 9 here, 8.5 to the over, 9 to the under. That would be the way that I would play this one. I think both teams' offense is better than the starting pitchers they're going to see. I do believe that the relievers are in better shape in this game. So maybe first. Let me check at the first half over here. First half over. Yeah, it's a solid 5 everywhere. I'm seeing 4.5, but it's over 40. So yeah, maybe in the game we play this game over. Find some way to get with the bats in this one.
TB, White Sox, Twins. What are you seeing in this one?
Yeah, Brian, is that a Rush shirt?
Yes, it is a Rush.
Oh, what's your favorite Rush? What's your favorite Rush song? Mine is Subdivisions.
Really? A keyboard song for Rush.
Yeah, and I like Time Stands Still too.
I love 2112, and I love
it's a good one.
And just in that entire era of music.
Of this stuff. By the way,
you can ask Trig his favorite Rush song, but he probably only knows one.
He knows
is
Billy
Rush?
Joel.
Do they have? Is it like? Do they have like the lead singer that sounds like a woman? Like is like very.
Yeah, he's got a high voice.
Lee.
Well, he had a high voice when he was younger. Yeah.
I couldn't tell you a single Rush song. I do like.
I thought Tom Sawyer. You were going to say Tom Sawyer, but
Adam is a Billy Joel guy.
He's a Billy Joel fan.
I'll tell you, every Billy Joel song on every album. I have an extensive live collection of. I took 11 years of piano lessons as a kid because of Billy Joel. So, yeah.
I also like Temple of Syrinx, but okay.
Oh yes.
Let's move on. My first look was kind of agreeing with Brian. I'll make it really quick because I'm not going to play this game, full disclosure. But if I were to, I'll give you this advice. The Twins bullpen is a little bit in shambles right now. They're not playing very well. I got them ranked 25 out of 30 teams. So everything else, I have these teams almost even, including starting pitchers. I would agree with Brian's over. But if you want to play a side, if you're going to take the full game, I would take the White Sox. And if you're going to take the first 5, I would take the Twins. Because I don't think you can trust that Twins bullpen. That's how I would play it. So use that for actionable information as you can.
Yeah, some interesting takes from both of you. I think I definitely agree with the over, potentially seeing some runs here. Luis Castillo, Brian, you pointed out his one good start. Came against the Reds, who have the worst, it's like by far the worst WRC plus against right-handed pitching this year. Tokyo, Brandon, you talk about the bullpens. The Twins really have not had a great bullpen all season. So they're, I do think the off day to regroup definitely helps them, but their bullpen has been not great this whole year. Where I do think the Twins have an advantage. They're going to call up Walker Jenkins finally. That's going to jazz up the fan base. I don't know how much that makes the team better. I mean, he's definitely probably their top hitting prospect right now in the organization, at least that's like big league ready. They've been waiting for him. Does it like drastically improve the Twins lineup? Well, I doubt that, but it's going to get the fans have wanted it for a while, and he'll be in the lineup tonight. I think you'll get a nice atmosphere for the Twins. The White Sox have a losing record on the road. The Twins have a winning record at home. But to go back to Brian, the over definitely makes some sense. Luis Castillo, I almost would say like Twins team total over works here. Find a way to play against Castillo, maybe in the first 5 because the White Sox probably do have the bullpen edge. But like at this point, he's a bottom 10 starter in Major League Baseball. I think what the White Sox did was look and say, okay, who's available? And we really need like a veteran presence in this rotation, in the clubhouse. We think we can make the playoffs. It's ideal to have a veteran that's had some postseason experience. And then, they might have looked at Castillo and said, hey, let's see if we can catch lightning in a bottle. He managed to do it down the stretch for the Mariners last year. When I watch him pitch at this point, like he's a bottom 10 starter in the majors with stuff. If you look at the underlying metrics, like just not great. Now, Dean Kramer, he has a sub-1 whip in 4 starts and showing up in Minnesota. And I was at his start, Brian, against the White Sox earlier this year. It was at Camden Yards. It was a day game. It was 150 degrees out, yet I still sat there baking right by, it was one of those days where it was so hot that everyone moved up. So I just strolled in and sat right behind home plate, like 3 rows away, watched that start. Dean Kramer gave up a solo home run at the beginning of that game and then fired 6 scoreless, had this White Sox lineup completely off balance and guessing in that start. So I do see, I think I would lean toward the Twins from a side, but I could totally get the total perspective here with the over. I think I'm projected right around 9, and you can actually get 8.5 with some juice, which I think makes some sense. So that's my take on White Sox Twins. Brian, wrap this one up. What else are you looking at?
Yeah, you mentioned Castillo, but I believe he's got a 44 average game score on the season. He's had the one start, as you mentioned, against Cincinnati, was very good, but he's been bad for a long time. And you talked about bringing in a guy with veteran leadership. Well, this is the same veteran who refused to leave the Seattle starting lineup because they had Kate Anderson up there to come up. And is that really what you want to bring to the locker room? I don't understand it, but I'm not an owner, but we'll see what happens. Chicago wins the division. Maybe it would have helped them, but we will see. Trees by Rush is a great song. I agree. That song, the words are about trees, actually, but it's about life. It's about getting the sun, and some people complain they don't get enough sun. It's about life in general, and Neil Peart was such a great songwriter. It's just a tremendous song.
D-Man says, love the UConn gear. Go to most of their football games and to many basketball games. Listen, I know the rest of the country doesn't want to hear it when it comes to football. Two very underrated places to watch a college football game. The JMA Wireless Dome, when it is full, it is awesome. It is loud. And guess what? It's got a roof. So when it's cold as hell in November and you're out tailgating and you're freezing, guess what? You get to go inside. Awesome. Great environment. Also the Rentschler Field in Hartford, where UConn plays, another very underrated place to catch a football game. When UConn is good, that place is such a fun place to watch a game. No roof, though. You're going to be cold if it's later in the season. But I've been to both many times. And, let's get right back into it. I'm going to go back to the chat. There's a lot of good games to talk about today. I'll go to this one. I see some people mentioning it. Tokyo Brandon, we have a developing situation in Detroit tonight, because we have Tariq Skubal on his way back to face his old team at Comerica Park, and coming off of a few losses now for the Dodgers. Really odd game last night. A leadoff home run, and then not one single run scored the rest of the game. The Dodgers on the short end of that one, of course. They've been on the short end the past 3 days. So they take a losing streak up to Motown with them. And Detroit, listen, they were dreadful on Wednesday. I gave that out on this show. They lost. It was one of the most uninspiring performances of the season. But you know what can get a team up? When your guy that left comes back and plays in your building. So I don't even know what to think here, because you got a couple of teams both off of losses. Skubal coming back. He's obviously a favorite. Do you like him, or are you going to go against him? Dodgers, Tigers to UTB.
Yeah, here's something. The pitchers study the batters more than the batters study the pitchers on their own team. So, and also when the pitcher comes back, he was generally liked in that locker room. So these batters are not like, we're going to get this MFer, but when he comes back, he's thinking, you guys traded me, huh? So I give a slight edge to the pitcher in this situation, coming back to his old team. If he has the ability, and obviously Skubal has the ability. I mean, he's had some rough patches, but his whip is still under 1, which not a lot of pitchers with 10 or more starts can say that. So, the Dodgers face a really good team. And if the Dodgers don't get their act together, they're going to have problems in the playoffs, because this Atlanta team, they're going to get Strider back. They're going to get Schwellenbach back. They're going to be a force to reckon with. The Dodgers aren't going to be able to just kick back and take it easy in the playoffs. So that's the manager's job, and that's a big deficiency for them. But so they're playing not a good team today. Tigers fans, just deal with it. Your team's 62-71. That's generally not good. And Dodgers have every advantage. I mean, Skubal's not walking anyone. He's only walking 18% of the guys he's striking out, where Anderson is walking about 43%. Hitting wise, Detroit is in a bit of a funk right now, and the Dodgers are pretty mediocre. Bullpen wise, Dodgers have an edge, mainly due to Vesia, but they have an edge there, about a 11-point edge, in my opinion. And starting pitcher, I mean, hands down, Skubal is probably better than every pitcher in MLB except maybe 3. So Dodgers are nothing for me. Yeah, the number's high, but they're on the road, guaranteed 9 innings. A -1.5 would be a decent play, in my opinion.
Brian, if the Tigers have at-bats like they did on Wednesday, they may not get a hit tonight. That was as dreadful of a 9-inning, it was just 9 full innings of awful at-bats. It's one thing to get shut out and it to not be your day, but I don't think I saw even one good at-bat from the Tigers against Freddie Peralta and a couple of Rays relievers. Now, obviously, new day, back home, going to be up for Skubal, but I don't know. This Tigers lineup doesn't inspire much confidence right now. And they set up worse against left-handed pitching. So I don't know what to do here, though, because that number is very, very big. Tigers, Dodgers to you.
Yeah, we're looking at Skubal, the lefty, Anderson, the righty. And Skubal's about a 210 favorite with a total of 7.5 to the under. Let's get a quick look at the team totals here. We're looking at the Dodgers, 4.5 to the under, minus 120. I think they could score 5 runs against Anderson. If you take a look at what Anderson has done, and I do kind of like Anderson. He's got a 51 average game score on the season. But since he's been a starter, he's faced the American League Central, Kansas City, Chicago White Sox, Cleveland, and then he played a game in Seattle, which is a very good pitcher's ballpark. So this will be clearly the best hitting team that he has faced as a starter so far this season. Average game score of 51 by playing those weaker opponents. I think the Dodgers are going to get to him a little bit here. From a bullpen situation, the Detroit bullpen is in very good shape. They had yesterday off, and on Wednesday, Finnegan and Kinley threw about 10, 12 pitches. So the bullpen will be good, but I think they're going to score some runs in the first 5 here against Anderson. And like I said, the team total for the Dodgers, you get them, if they score 5 runs, you've got a winner at basically plus 100. Let's take a quick look at the first 5 here. Dodgers 2.5 to the under 40. So if they score 3 runs in 5 innings, you're getting plus 120 or so back. That's not bad either. So I like both of those situations. I actually think the Detroit staff, Detroit will be prepared for Skubal. Number one, there's no, like as TB pointed out, there's no ill will between the bunch. Skubal knew he was going to be traded because he wasn't going to sign with Detroit. Detroit got what they needed out of him. He's been very good. He's been a franchise player for them. They love him. But the coaching staff knows exactly what he's got and exactly what he can do. That's an advantage, I think, for Detroit in this one. But I really do think the Dodgers will score some runs here. And maybe even Detroit could get a few runs in this game, too. So maybe the total over, if you get 8 runs, you're going to get even money, plus 100. So that's not bad either. But I think there's going to be some runs scored in this one.
Yeah, the price is so astronomically high, especially considering how the Dodgers have played. The fact that they really haven't hit a ton lately. Drew Anderson, of course, Tokyo Brandon, our guy, former SSG Lander. If AJ Hinch is smart when to get him out of the game, as Brian said, the Tigers bullpen has just about everyone available. The plus 1.5, in my opinion, makes a lot of sense. You're getting the extra run. It's probably going to be a close game. I think both teams, either someone in the chat's like, man, this game could be 5-4. It could be 8-0. Yeah, it could be 2-1. There's a lot of different ways this game can go. But I do think if the Tigers are close and Anderson can give he hasn't gone more than 5 as a starter. So I think if he can go once through, maybe into the second time through the order, and he's doing well, and then Hinch pushes the right buttons as to when to get him out and leans on his bullpen, that the Tigers could potentially keep the Dodgers at bay. I think the question comes down to is Skubal just vintage? Is he lights out? Does he go 7 scoreless? At that point, you might be in trouble. But if they can get a couple off of Skubal, they could absolutely be in this game. So I will, I guess, somewhat reluctantly say Tigers plus 1.5 is the value here and is the way I would play it. But boy, I just that the Tigers, I don't know. I that's my style. My style is to go back to them. I played them on Wednesday. They had the day off yesterday. My style is to come back against a new opponent when they're big value and play it, but I just haven't been able to do that just yet. Tigers looked completely lethargic in their last game. So we'll see. Maybe I'll warm up to that one as the day goes on. I do have a 5%.
Adam?
Go ahead, TB.
Oh, yep. Sorry. No, I'm sorry. Ahead. Adam's got a 5%, or I cut him off. Do you think, just your opinion, do you think the Dodgers were bad, or do you think Sale was good? He was pretty darn good.
Sale was
good. He was good. I still don't think the Dodgers are bad at all, but I do think there's an element of going through the motions for the Dodgers that
you're right
has been apparent for a while now, and it's
yes.
And it's not, and the other thing is, before we move on, it's not just this season. Like, it's almost like the Dodgers know they can do that, know that they can still easily get to the World Series. So it's even worse than like maybe like having like a team. Listen, a team that's 80-54 on August 28th with an 8-game lead in the division is naturally gonna just be like, all right, like, well, let's get to the playoffs. Come on, let's get this 162 game season over. You're talking about a Dodgers team that's been able to do this in multiple seasons before this season. So they're even more just like, let's just get on with it. We want to play playoff baseball. We're sick of like playing, like and whereas the Tigers in this spot, not only are they desperate, but like they're getting like, like this is a big deal for the Tigers. Home game, school, Dodgers come into the town. So like that would make my case maybe more so than anything for the Tigers here.
Managerial problem for the Dodgers.
And then you want to talk about a manager advantage. I'll put AJ. I still put AJ Hinch up against just about anyone. So
could you imagine if he managed the Dodgers? Jeez.
All right, let's get on to the next game. TV, I'm coming back to you. Couple people in the chat. This is actually a great game. Alex Rand says, morning, fellas. Can we talk Rays Padres? Our guy Stokes says, Rays Padres have a big bet on the Rays. TB, is he on the right side? He wants to know. Rays Padres to you.
So, yeah, two teams with a lot of talent here. And I actually like Casey Mize quite a bit, but my numbers think he's pretty average. Passes the eye test, numbers test looks kind of average according to my numbers. Shane McClanahan, not a lot better. Got him ranked 12 on a curve of 30. So both pitchers, okay. Both bullpens playing quite well. I got Tampa Bay 11, got San Diego 4. Now, neither team is hitting very well. Got them both ranked 21 or less. Pretty even game, in my opinion, but I think the pitchers will win out in the duel. So if anything, I would take an under, whether it be the first 5 or the full game. I think the under's probably the way to go in this one. San Diego is one of those teams that just has a ton of talent, but they're just lazy. They can explode when they feel like it, but they play lazy baseball. So I think an under here.
Brian, to you, is our friend in the chat on the right side with the Rays, or do you like the Padres here?
Unfortunately, I think the line is right. McClanahan, the lefty, against San Diego, the ready with Mize. We're looking at a 125 for Tampa Bay, total 7.5 to the under. I see a 7.5 minus 110 out there at one place. If you can get it at 110 or less, I kind of like the under a little bit too. Both teams had yesterday off, so all the bullpens are cleared up a little bit. Tampa Bay's closer had pitched 3 days in a row. Now he's had a couple days off, 2 or 3 days off in a row, and Baker's been fantastic all season long. And we know that San Diego's got some talent in that regard in the bullpen too. So, yeah, I would play the under if I'm only laying 110 at 7.5. And yeah, it's close to it. But I think it'll be these are two offenses that have gone off in the past. I don't know if I trust them as much. San Diego doesn't hit the lefties as well. Tampa Bay doesn't hit the righties as well. So, yeah, slight lean to the under, but unfortunately, from the side standpoint, I think the number's right. That's about what I would have made at 125, 128, something like that. So not enough value on the side for me.
Suppose this should probably be talked about. So Casey Mize in his last start, kind of a weird injury. He rolled his ankle walking down the dugout steps to the point where he had to leave the start. Now, he probably didn't have his best stuff in that game anyway. It was probably like kind of an easy decision. But in the third inning, they took him out. And, if you listen to the post-game stuff, he tried to tape the ankle up. He tried to pitch through it, but couldn't. And his velocity dropped after the injury. Now, this is only 5 days later. All of that is concerning all that's concerning to me. X-rays were negative, no fracture, ankle seems to be fine, but that doesn't like inspire the most confidence, right? Like you roll your ankle, you have an ankle sprain. Listen, I was a soccer player. That was the sport I was best at growing up. ankles, depending on like where you get it, don't just like go away in 5 days. The higher, the worse, typically. But that's like, something I'd be curious if it's still bothering him at any point. If he's, because here's the other thing with the Padres, it's like they don't have like a ton of starting pitching depth. So this might be a case where it's like they go to Casey, like, hey, can you go today? We kind of need you, right? Like they don't have like all this like pitching depth. So I'd be curious if he's still bothered by the ankle, if he's still pitching through it. And then the thing that concerns me the most is that there was a clear dip in velocity after he messed up his ankle. Does that still bother him at all here? I ultimately go with Bryan. I think the number is about right. I was, however, kind of looking for a case to make with the Padres because I do think there's maybe a tiny value with them at plus money. That actually seems like a pretty even matchup. I don't think the number is skewed enough one way or the other for me to be like, oh, like this is just like way off. I do lean toward Padres being plus money, but I think that whole ankle situation maybe just kind of says, hey, stay out of this one. All right. Adam Pudvitter. I probably said he told me how to pronounce it one day, and I know I just like butchered it again, so I apologize. But he says, I did the math on Marlins Nationals, and I come with the Marlins being an easy win. Am I missing something, Adam? No, you are not. I think you're correct. I think the Marlins do win tonight, and the Marlins will be my leg of the parlay. I won yesterday with the Nationals. They got it done for me, but that was a home game against the Rockies, and it was a very favorable setup for the Nationals, so much so that after they got pounded during our show and even moved 20 cents, I said, you know what, I still got to get in here and get some Nationals. This is just too good of a spot to pass up for them at home against the Rockies. Now they go against the Marlins, who are a better team. They use some bullpen, which once the Nationals bullpen, Brian, is improved. But when you get past the couple of top guys now, the Clayton Beater and a couple other top guys, like they can still definitely be had. Like there's still runs to be had against this bullpen. And you're getting Yuri Perez here, who's pretty much an ace at this point. Certainly sort of pitching his way to be, he's probably going to take the torch from Alcantara as the ace of this team going forward. And you're up against Jackson Kent, who, again, was really good at AAA, has had a great season up here in Rochester, but since getting up to the big leagues, he nibbles a little too much. It's gotten him into trouble. So far in 3 big league starts, Brian, 5 walks, 3 walks, 3 walks. And I've watched every single one of them. He doesn't trust his stuff enough to like throw it in over the plate. And you can't do that against decent big league teams. And the Marlins, while they might not cash that 980 playoff ticket I have to make the playoffs, they are still in the mix. They come into play 4 games back of a wild card spot, and they are still a decent baseball team. So I think the Marlins can get to Kent, and I think they get this win, and this will be my leg of the parlay. Brian, do you agree or disagree?
Yeah, Kent just faced him 5 days ago, and he went 4 2/3, gave up 3 earned runs, a game score of 50, which is the highest game score he's had on the season. He's had a 50, 22, and 45. I don't know how you get a game score of 50 when you go 4 2/3, give up 3 earned runs, but he did have 5 strikeouts. Left on base percentage in his games have been very low. So guys are getting on base and they're finding ways to score. That is a concern here. And I came into this looking to try to find a way to play Washington. And then every time I looked at it, I said, I can't play Washington. So if I'm going to play it, I like them a starting pitcher matchup here with Perez against Kent. The line in the game is about 150 with a total of 8.5 to the under. But if you're looking at the first half, you're looking at Perez overall, and I could see numbers out there that are basically very much the same, maybe 10 cents more. So it's all over the place. You can get 150 right now on Perez in the first half as opposed to Miami in the whole game. Now, I know Washington's bullpen hasn't been very good, but it's much better now than it was earlier in the season. So first 5 with Perez in the 150, 155 range, that wouldn't be a bad bet, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, for me now, I want the Marlins for 9 full innings here because again, while the Nationals bullpen has been better, they've also used it up some over the last couple days, and I still think the Marlins have a bullpen edge there. The Marlins they might not have the bullpen numbers that they had back in June into July, but like this is still a respectable collection of Marlins relievers. So Tokyo Brandon, to you, I guess break the tie. What do you do? Well, first of all, do you like the Marlins? Second of all, do you prefer first five or full game?
Yeah, guys, I haven't been doing a lot of promoting today, but I'll do one right now. You can get a double play, 2 of us, 3 cappers, 3 days, all baseball, all access. Adam has a 5%. I have 1 MLB play out. Brian will probably be putting 1 or more out after the show. So
5%.
pretty hard to go wrong with us. Yeah. And if you just like one of us, Adam has a football special. Brian has an all year special. I have my own baseball special. So go to wagertalk.com and see what's up there. My thoughts on this game, man, this is the closest matchup I have of any 2 teams in current form. The tiebreaker is Yuri Perez is worlds better than Jackson Kent, according to my numbers. I really like Perez. I've liked him for a while. He's a guy that the books don't, tax too hard. They know who he is, but he doesn't get like Scooble kind of pricing, but he's pitching really well. And Jackson Kent's not. And Miami, you might think your ticket for the playoffs is dead. I don't think it is. And I guarantee you these players don't think it is. So it's Miami or nothing for me. I really like Yuri Perez. Price is 147, I think 145. Not too bad. You can take a -1, but I got their bullpens like dead even. But like Adam said, Miami's in a little bit better shape as far as usage is concerned. Miami or nothing for me.
Tokyo Brandon, well said. Yeah, Brian, I'm coming to you, but yeah, light years apart. Jackson Kent, Yuri Perez, light years apart. And Jackson Kent, Brian, is the perfect example of the difference between AAA and the big leagues. Because in AAA, you can nibble and you can get the average hitter in AAA is going to expand the zone if your stuff is good. You cannot do that in the majors unless you have absolutely elite stuff. Kent does not have elite stuff yet. Guys are not expanding the zone against him. And when you have to come in and they know it's going to be a strike and you don't have like crazy stuff, big league hitters are going to hit that, or they're going to lay off your nibbling pitches. And that's why he has an 8 ERA, a 2.11 whip, and like 11 walks in his first 3 starts. So that is why I'm going to use Marlins full game. Brian, wrap this one up and also let me know what that price is.
Yeah, if you take a look at what the starting pitcher has done for Miami here, he's got 57 average game score on the season, 13 straight starts of 49 or better. League average is 50. So he's been very consistent in Yuri Perez, and I agree with you. I think I'm probably going to come in on Miami for clients as a smaller play. So I like that one too. The current line is sitting at minus 148, I would say.
Yeah, that definitely took a little bit of money over the last hour or so. I think that was about in the minus 130s, like maybe an hour or 2 ago. So which is fine. For our parlay, that's totally fine. And I think you could make a case to get on that still. If you really like it, that's still somewhat playable in my opinion, for a straight bet. Brian, I'm coming back to you. Have you seen a game that you like for your parlay piece here?
Yeah, it's not going to be a fun game for anybody to watch, and they're probably not going to watch it in the first place. But I'm going to look at Arizona and San Francisco. We got Drake, the lefty, against Tidwell, the righty. I've been impressed by Tidwell so far. He's done very well for them. San Francisco has not hit lefties, and they're going against Drake. Arizona has not hit righties, and they're going against a righty and Tidwell. The line on the game is about 130 for Arizona with a total of 7.5. If you look at the first half of this game, we're seeing 4s, 4.5s. You can get under 4.5 right now in the first half in the 130, 135 range. I think that's what I'm going to do. I don't see either one of these teams getting with a total of 7.5 in a good pitcher's ballpark. I don't see either of these teams breaking through against the handedness of the pitcher they struggle with all season long. Drake, I'm still coming to terms with it, if I like him or not, but Tidwell's been pretty impressive. So I'm going to play the under 4.5 and minus. There's 30s out there, but let's go minus 135. Minus 135, under 4.5 in the first 5.
Yeah, we won't take any degenerate special slander on the show. Drew Martin would be pissed. This is the 10-15 game. It's standalone. It's the last one on the board. So it might be the only thing we've got to watch at some point tonight because it's probably the last one that's still going. Tokyo Brandon, D-backs, Giants to you. Brian likes the under. Side or total, do you have any opinions?
Yeah, I will be doing my Asian baseball show tonight, so check that out on my channel. Regarding this game, I fully agree with Brian here. Two somewhat unknown pitchers, but, putting up pretty good numbers. San Francisco, again, weak against the type of pitcher they're facing. Both teams are. And, full game under wouldn't be bad either because both bullpens playing pretty well. But, yeah, can't disagree with Brian. If I were to play a side, I wouldn't because I have the Diamondbacks the better hitting and San Francisco with the better starter and better bullpen. So, I wouldn't play a side. I would play an under as well.
Yeah, you're the 7.5 makes it a little bit tough to play the full game. Kind of getting priced as if you got an ace somewhere on the mound, but without a doubt, the sort of merit to the under here is the starting pitching. So I would go right with Brian, try to cut it in half, go first 5. Tidwell has been great this year.
Mm-hmm.
Like he quietly had a nice season down in Sacramento. Remember, he reunites with his college coach. Tony Vitello was his coach at Tennessee. Blade Tidwell was up here. I got to watch him a ton when he was with the Mets, and he kind of, the Met. He was victim of the Mets just having so many good young pitchers in the organization that he sort of became expendable. And I think he's found a nice home in San Francisco. His stuff really since he's gotten there, he's been outstanding. Last year with Sacramento down the stretch was great. This year he's been a big part of a very good Sacramento Rivercats team. And he's thrown the ball well since being called up. So you got to like Tidwell, as Brian said. The right-handed D-backs are terrible against right-handed pitching. And, Cole Drake, at worst, he's a lefty, and lefties give the Giants trouble. So first, and I don't think the Diamondbacks are super committed to him going like crazy deep in this game. Right. This might be a scenario where Cole Drake is once through the order. Let's see how the second time is going, and then we may go to the bullpen early. So, yeah, Brian, I'm with you there. First 5 under is absolutely the way to play this game. What was your price on that again?
135, I believe.
Russell Deck, do we have a good total bet for the slate? You just got it. That I can't find a better one. I think that's the best total that you're going to find on this slate. Under 4.5, minus 130. We'll go with for the parlay, which probably means you can get an under 4 at like even money if you had to. And I think both of those are playable here. All right, Tokyo Brandon, first off, I want to shout out Freebird. He says, thank you, gentlemen. He wants to know best team total today. He says, we are 3-1. So I'm going to give you the floor. Give Freebird a team total, but also let us know where you want to go for the parlay.
Team total. Let's take a look. My first inclination would be, you know what? I think the Red Sox under would be a good team total just because Schlittler has amazing numbers against them. And it's a game we already covered. But yeah, again, I'm going to take the Dodgers team total as my leg of the parlay. I know it's minus 220 or something like that. So yeah, for parlay leg, that's fine. I wouldn't give that to clients, but yeah, for parlay leg, I'll do it. And so, do we have anyone requesting a game? Because I'd like to talk Rangers Brewers if possible.
Yep, we can go to that game. Let's just lock in your parlay leg quick and finish answering Freebird's question with a team total. Brian, Best team total on the board for you. And can you, Tokyo Brandon, Dodgers, are you going team total over for the Dodgers?
No. Dodgers money line. He asked for a team total. I said Boston under.
Gotcha.
But Dodgers money line is going to be my parlay leg.
Brian, give me a price for Dodgers money line, but also give Freebird your best team total on the slate.
I will say Arizona under 4.5. It's plus 120, or under 3.5 in the plus 120 range. I think that's a nice payoff. The Dodgers on money line, we're looking at about a 190.
All right, so it's not $2. That's actually
it's come down a little bit.
Yeah, it's come down a little bit. So I'll recap the parlay at the end. I guess I think the Marlins are going to hit Jackson Kent, and I think there's runs to be scored off of their bullpen. So I guess I'll just sort of double down on my parlay leg and say Marlins get some runs today and put their team total over. Yeah, TB, we can talk the Brewers game. Go ahead, kick us off there. Rangers, Brewers. What are you looking at?
Yeah, I'll be very quick about it. Because I really brought this up because I want to hear what you guys think about it as well. But you know how I think about Henderson. He's my guy. I like him a lot. Numbers wise, up there with the best in MLB. I mean, 8-2 with a 2.60 ERA. It's pretty hard to beat numbers like that. And if you look at his WHIP, everything falls in place. Even his expected numbers are good. I have the Brewers crushing Texas here. But I just wanted to know what you guys thought. The price is 170 something. So yeah, you could do a -1, bring it to about 145. I think it's Brewers or nothing, in my opinion. I've never been a Bradford fan. And I have the Brewers with the better bullpen and the better hitting. So that's how I think.
Brian, I'll say this. The books have certainly gotten out in front of like Logan Henderson being an unknown. I mean, he gets priced like an ace every time he steps on the mound. And to be quite honest, he probably deserves it. I think that I've noticed the books continue to beat you to the spot with Henderson, where it's like, they're like, oh, you want to back this guy in the Brewers? Congratulations. Why don't you lay $1.75 to 180 to do so? Doesn't mean the Brewers aren't going to win, but they are, I've noticed they are quite priced up when he's on the mound. And that's the case again here. So Brewers, Rangers to you, anything for you in this one?
Yeah, I would agree. Problem is, they priced it where I don't think there's any value. I actually like Bradford a little bit. He is a lefty. Milwaukee doesn't hit lefties as well, but I think the line is correct here. I do want to point out once again, I've got a 5% today. Trig's got a 5% today. You can get us both at that special price. It's also college football season, and I'm going to have my first college football plays coming up tomorrow on the Saturday card. So yeah, if you're looking for long-term packages, keep in mind it's football season now, and right around the corner is the NFL. I don't do preseason. Trig does preseason. He's done very well in that regard, and he's won again this year. So we can finally start talking about something other than baseball, which is okay. You know, I handicap the other sports as well, but baseball's a true love for all of us, and that's. If you watch the show, you know that by tuning in every day.
Yeah, I'm 4-1 in the NFL preseason. This, no matter what, will be my 5th consecutive winning NFL preseason because I'm not going to bet enough this weekend to lose everything I'm up. So we'll probably have. So I have a coupon code for my NFL regular season, which I made 35 units in football last year. I think 26 of them were NFL units. And like 8 or nine were college. I don't bet a ton of college. I'm really not a college football handicapper at all. I will play every once in a while if I get good info from someone I've met along the way. They're all info plays. I spend 0 hours a week handicapping college football. That being said, I do regularly go to games in the Carrier Dome. So I'm kind of tuned into Cuse football. You'll get a either pro or anti-Cuse play from me every once in a while. But no, I NFL handicapper, NFL 100. That coupon works on my entire NFL season. And I will. If you do buy today, you will get the rest of the preseason. There is a high likelihood that I make an NFL preseason play either today or tomorrow, the last 2 days of the NFL preseason. Didn't know Brian had a 5%er in Major League Baseball. So if you take advantage of the double play, you can get a pair of 5% plays from Brian and I, as I have one tonight as well. And I guess really quick thoughts on Brewers Rangers. I don't have a ton to add there. I would have looked to take the Rangers on the +1.5 if this was a little bit more affordable on the +1.5. I kind of think the books nailed the pricing here. They priced the Brewers just high enough on the money line where there's no Brewers value, but they're still going to force you to lay like $1.45 or something to play back if you want the run with the Rangers. So props to the books. I think the books nailed that Rangers-Brewers game. I don't see much value either way, and so that one will not make my card tonight. To clarify, yes, Tokyo Brandon is going with Dodgers money line in the parlay. However, TB, I do agree with your team total suggestion. I think Schlittler, I think he comes out and just deals tonight. Like, that is just what he does against the Red Sox. It's what he wants to do. Like, he's been looking at this start for weeks. Like, that's just the kind of guy he is. And I'm with you. I think he pitches really, really well tonight. So I could see that team total under coming in as well. The parlay of the day, 3-teamer, the one that's going to put us back in the plus if we hit it. Tokyo Brandon's going Dodgers on the money line -190. I'm going to go Marlins on the money line -148. And Brian is going with a first 5 team total in the Diamondbacks-Giants game under 4.5. Looks like it's -130. So we've got Marlins money line full game, Dodgers money line full game, and then first 5 under 4.5 and D-backs-Giants. That's your 3-teamer today. Anyone got anything else before we sign off?
These guys both have a 5% play. If you get a double play, it costs, I think, $65. You more than pay for the 5% plays if you bought them singly, and you get 3 days full access. Grab a double play with those two guys. Watch my Asian baseball show tonight and my MLB show Sunday morning on my YouTube channel, and I'll be happy.
And we will be here an hour earlier tomorrow.
Yes.
Tomorrow.
I'm glad you brought that up. Yep. We are back. We are at 9 a.m. on Saturdays going forward. We have I believe they're putting the college football show at 10 a.m. So just come an hour earlier. You're going to have
we're the warm-up band.
9, total bases at 9 a.m. 10 a.m. I think is maybe Brian Power and the college football crew, and then last call at 11. So your Saturday mornings are now fully occupied with WagerTalk programming. We'll see you again. We're always up here on demand. If you do make it over to the YouTube channel, drop us a like, a subscribe, a comment. It all helps, and we appreciate it. And we'll get in and interact with you back and forth. Good or bad. I get to all the comments. So, good, bad, and different. We'll take all the interaction we can get. And the 3 of us will see you. Remember, 9 a.m. Eastern tomorrow morning. Total bases moving to 9 a.m. Eastern on Saturday. We'll see you guys then.